We often admire the Salaf for their great public deeds. But some of their most powerful moments happened in silence, alone with Allah, in the dark, when no one was watching. Let these 10 stories soften your heart. Umar wept over a single verse. Umar ibn al-Khattab, may Allah be pleased with him, was once leading far prayer and began reciting Surah Yusuf. When he reached the verse where Yaqub cries, "I only complain of my suffering and my grief to Allah," Umar wept so loudly that the people in the back rows could hear him. A man of iron resolve, reduced to tears by a single ayah. The takeaway for us: do not rush through recitation. Pause. Let the Qur'an land on your heart. Even one verse, felt deeply, can change a life. The scholar who hid his fasting. Bishr al-Hafi, the great ascetic of Baghdad, was known to fast so secretly that he would carry food out of his house in the morning so his household would not know he was fasting. He said, "If you do a good deed for people to see, you have sold your reward for the cheapest price." This perfectly reflects the hadith: 7 will be shaded by Allah on a day when there is no shade but His, among them a man who gives charity so secretly that his left hand does not know what his right hand gives. The takeaway: guard your sincerity ferociously. Al-Rabi practiced one verse all night. Al-Rabi ibn Kuthaym, a companion of Ibn Masud, once spent an entire night repeating only one verse: "Or do those who do evil deeds think that we will make them like those who have believed and done righteous deeds?" He was found at dawn still on that verse, tears on his face. He had not moved past it because he had not yet fully grappled with its weight. The takeaway: tajweed and quantity matter, but so does depth. Choose one verse this week and sit with it. Let it ask you its question before you move on. Aisha gave away her last coin. Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, once received 70,000 dirhams as a gift. By the time the day ended, she had given every single dirham away in charity, while she herself was fasting and had nothing to break her fast with. When her servant pointed this out, she said, "You should have reminded me." She had not kept even 1 dirham for herself. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "The generous person is close to Allah, close to people, close to paradise." The takeaway: generosity is not about what you have left over. It is about what you give away first. Sa'id ibn al-Musayyib prayed at Kaaba for years. Sa'id ibn al-Musayyib, the leading scholar of the Tabi'in generation, reportedly did not miss the opening takbir of a congregational prayer for 40 years. He said he had not seen the back of a worshipper's head in the mosque for the same period, meaning he always arrived first. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "If people knew the reward of the call to prayer and the first row, they would draw lots for it." The takeaway: spiritual greatness is often built not on grand events but on relentless, quiet consistency. Show up early. Do it again tomorrow. Ibrahim ibn Adham left a kingdom for Allah. Ibrahim ibn Adham was a prince of Balkh who one night heard a voice on his palace roof and, upon reflection, felt a devastating awareness of his heedlessness before Allah. He left his throne, his wealth, and his comfort, and spent the rest of his life as a wandering scholar and worshipper. He said, "We are in a state of joy that, if kings knew of it, they would fight us with swords to take it." The Qur'an reminds us, whoever fears the standing before his Lord, for him are 2 gardens. The takeaway: true richness is found in the heart that is turned toward Allah. Thabit al-Bunani begged to die in prayer. Thabit al-Bunani, the beloved student of Anas ibn Malik, used to make one persistent du'a: "O Allah, if you have ever granted someone the blessing of dying in prostration, then grant it to me." Those around him considered it an impossible wish. Yet it was recorded that Thabit died in the state of prostration during prayer. His Lord had answered him. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "The closest a servant is to his Lord is when he is in prostration, so increase your du'a in it." The takeaway: ask Allah for what seems impossible. He is Al-Qadir, the All-Able. Sufyan al-Thawri wept from fear of Riya. Sufyan al-Thawri, one of the greatest scholars of hadith of his era, wept often, not from fear of sins others might notice, but from fear of hidden Riya, or showing off. He said, "Nothing is harder for me to treat than my own intention." He knew that a deed could look perfect outwardly while being hollow within. The Prophet, peace be upon him, warned, "The thing I fear most for you is minor shirk." When asked, he explained, Riya, showing off. The takeaway, the most important question before any act of worship is not, "Am I doing this right?" but, "Am I doing this for Allah?" Rabi'a al-Adawiyya loved Allah without condition. Rabi'a al-Adawiyya, the revered early mystic of Basra, was asked, "Do you love the Prophet, peace be upon him?" She said, "Yes, deeply." Then she was asked, "Do you love Allah?" She said, "Yes, and his love has so filled my heart that no room remains for fear of the fire or longing for paradise. I love him because he is worthy of love." Scholars cited her words to illustrate the highest station of sincere worship. The Qur'an says, "He loves them and they love him." The takeaway, examine why you worship. Worship built on love is the most unshakable of all. Uwais al-Qarni, loved without ever meeting. Uwais al-Qarni, a man from Yemen, never met the Prophet, peace be upon him, in person, because he could not leave his elderly mother. Yet the Prophet told Umar and Ali, "There will come to you from Yemen a man called Uwais. He will have a mark on him. Let him seek forgiveness for you, for his du'a is answered." When Umar later found Uwais and asked him to make du'a, Uwais wept and said he feared he was unworthy. He had spent his life in quiet devotion, caring for his mother, unseen by the world, but fully seen by Allah. The takeaway, your hidden sacrifice is never hidden from him. Which of these souls moved your heart the most? Carry one of their lessons with you this week. If these stories benefit you, subscribe so we can keep bringing the light of the Salaf into your life.